All right. Again, my name is Teresa Stevens. I'm the Director of Neighborhood Development and Outreach, and we are really excited to have you guys join us here this evening for the pre-proposal conference for our 2021 fall RFP. Before we get started, I'd like to have a welcome from our Acting Deputy Commissioner, Ms. Kate Edwards.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kate Edwards. As Teresa said, I am the Acting Deputy Commissioner for the Development Division at DHCD. Just like Teresa said, really excited about this offering that we have and so happy that so many of you are able to join us tonight. We're really looking forward to this. We have many surplus schools being offered for this round, and a lot of these properties were on the expression of interest, so we know that we have a lot of strong interest in these properties, and just really looking forward to the proposals that we're going to get and the new development that we'll see on these sites. So thank you again for coming, and welcome to this evening's pre-proposal conference, and I'm going to give it back to Teresa.
Thank you, Kate. All right, so the goal this evening is to share information on the DHCD RFP and provide you all with the detail that will help you all be able to submit successful proposal applications. We're going to go through the PowerPoint presentation and take questions. I would encourage you to not hold your questions. If you have questions during the presentation, please put those questions in the chat so that we can answer those and or pull those questions into our discussion once we complete the presentation. The chat, if you guys are not familiar with Zoom, should be located at the bottom of your screen, and it looks like a little chat box, or it looks like a written bubble. So hopefully you all can find that successfully and be able to share questions with us. I would like to ask if you could please put your name and organization in our chat so that we can track persons who have participated in this evening's event and follow up with you with links to tonight's recording, as well as an update on our site inspections that are soon to occur the end of this week through the next week of November, through the end of the first week of November. All right, so tonight we actually have 10 sites that the Department of Housing and Community Development will be offering, and we are looking for developers to submit proposals telling us their interest in those properties. So we're going to go through the presentation this evening. Request for proposal is a formal solicitation method, and we hope to use this to be able to find developer teams that are ready to purchase the properties, both buildings and sites that we are available to offer this evening or through the RFP. The overview, pretty much community vision and participation. One of the big aspects of our request for proposal is community. And we are hopeful that developers will, via email, send information to the local community members and stakeholders to give them some information and to gauge their interest in your proposed use and development project. The intent of offering, of course, DHCD is seeking a purchase. We are looking for persons or organizations that are interested in purchasing the city-owned property. And just as a note, the properties are all offered as is condition. So for the RFP overview, these are pieces of the RFP that are required in the application. The letter of interest pretty much is a cover letter, and it must include your development team, highlighting the point of contact and who we will be working with. It should also include a statement that tells us exactly what your plan is and indicates that this plan will remain valid for at least a minimum of 180 days. The project description is the developer providing a preliminary conceptual vision of the project, and it can include illustrations and plans. Budget and financing is a very critical piece of the RFP, and we are looking for a development team that can identify and secure all the necessary pre-development financing and have a solid plan on acquiring the financing needed to implement the development project to completion. Developer capacity, we are asking for a description of the firm, resumes of the team and what roles those team members will play in the project, as well as providing funding and details on your experience. Community and economic inclusion. This portion of the requirement is for the developer to summarize any local hiring activities and plans. Minority and business enterprise participation, exactly as it says, we are hopeful that you will indicate the minimum or the minority and women-owned business participation in your project. Community participation, again, community is key. And we are hoping that you can describe the team and how the team will be involved in the community, planning, implementing the redevelopment activities, and how you all will partner with them through the process. Each of those pieces will feed into our RFP overview, and each of those criteria have been weighted to total 100% so that our review committee can give us a scoring that will help us to make an award, hopefully, on the request for proposals. For the quality of development concept, we are looking for an overall scope, neighborhood compatibility, and the quality of the proposed development plan. For the project feasibility, this piece is this project economically sound? And based on the established financial principles that you've included, does this make sense? And is there a realistic timeline included in your proposal to help us be able to understand how long this project will take to get to completion? Developer capacity and experience. Does this team have a satisfactory record? What is your experience? Have you done projects similar to this, or are there people in your team who have done projects similar to this? Are some of the key points that we are looking for in this particular weighted criteria. Benefits to the city. This includes, but is not limited to, payment for acquisition of the site, tax revenue, and a secondary financial impact to the community in the city of Baltimore. Benefits to the community. This includes, but is not limited to, the ability to support and enhance any or future ongoing redevelopment efforts scheduled for the community in which the property sits. Economic and community inclusion. This portion refers to the inclusion of women and minority-owned businesses, as well as the participation and partnership of various stakeholders within the community of the property that we are offering. This RFP was actually issued on September 20th. The deadline is December 17th. It was issued by the Department of Housing and Community Development for the city of Baltimore. Today, we are excited to host this pre-proposal conference and have so many interested organizations and individuals. This recorded conference will be posted on our DHCD YouTube channel within the next few days. So if you would like to hear this again or check out some of the comments or notes that were covered in today's presentation, please feel free to visit our YouTube channel, which will be in the chat momentarily. Questions and inquiries that we are unable to answer tonight, or those that we are able to address this evening, will be posted on our website no later than Friday, November the 5th by 3 p.m. If you have additional questions between now and Friday, November 5th, or between now and Monday, November 1st, please email developmentinfo@baltimorecity.gov. Now for what you all have been waiting for. Very excited to introduce the team that makes it happen, the neighborhood development officers. For our South and Southwest neighborhoods, we have Robin Mitchell Ayele. Northwest neighborhoods is covered by Ms. Kelly Bacala, Nikki Cooper Moore, handles our eastern region, and our northeast neighborhoods are Eric P. Lee. And definitely the west side, which is a hot neighborhood right now, is run by Howard Tutman or managed by Howard Tutman. This portion of this session will be a highlight of the different properties by the neighborhood development officers. And at this point, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Eric P. Lee.
Thank you, Teresa. Again, my name is Eric Lee, and I am the Neighborhood Development Officer for the Northeast region of Baltimore City. There are 3 properties that we're offering in the Northeast region for this RFP. The first one is the Castle Street Bundle, which is the 1900 block of North Castle Street, the 1900 block of North Chester, and 2025 East 20th Street. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, all these properties are for sale for development purposes. This is located in the South Clifton Park area, and South Clifton Park is surrounded by or adjacent to Clifton Park. There's a 21st Century Hartford Heights Elementary School that was recently constructed. And so there's a lot of activity going on in South Clifton Park. We are having our site inspection for this piece of property, this bundle of lots, tomorrow, in fact, at 10 a.m. And so some of the community members will be out there because they have an interest in what type of development takes place on these properties. And so we encourage you, if you're interested in this bundle of properties, which is a total of 28 vacant lots and 27,000 square feet. If you have an interest, we encourage you to come to the site visit tomorrow at 10 a.m. The second property is located in the Kenilworth Park community. It is the school, a 2-story school. Current zoning there is residential, and it's on a very large site. It's 7.5 acres. The site visit for that location is on Monday, November 1st at 10 a.m. And so we also encourage you to, if you're interested in looking at development at 1101 Winston Avenue, which is the former Walter P. Carter Elementary School. We encourage you to come by on Monday, November 1st at 10 a.m. The site visits will last about 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours. So we ask you to be there on time and be prepared with flashlights and your architects and engineers and whomever else is on your team, so that you can fully inspect the properties for your proposal. This location is a wonderful location. It's in a residential neighborhood, and it's surrounded by Chicoquin Park, Herring Run Park, Dewey's Park, and close to Morgan State University. In this neighborhood, it's a working population, and the residents, it's a stable residential neighborhood. I'm going to the next slide. The third property offered in the Northeast region is 5837 Bel Air Road. And this is a recently demolished building. It was formerly a convalescent hospital. It's in the Sedmont community. Some people say Seedmont community. But as you can see by the picture, it's recently been demolished and cleared and prepared for development. This also is a very stable neighborhood located on Bel Air Road. And the lot size is 10,812 square feet. It's zoned for commercial development. Our site inspection date on that is Wednesday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. And so once again, we encourage you, if you're interested in development, commercial development in the Sedmont community in Northeast region of Baltimore, we encourage you to come to the site and visit. In this particular case, and in all three cases, there's active community participation and interest in what type of development takes place. And so we want to encourage you also to do outreach to the communities so that you can hear firsthand what the community's interests are and attempt to gain their support for your development proposal. Now I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Bacala for the next group of properties.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kelly Bacala, and I am the Northwest Neighborhood Development Officer. So I'll be speaking about 3 properties as well today. Shout out to North Baltimore, having a lot of properties for sale. The first property we're going to be talking about is the Reisterstown Road Bundle. This property is roughly 17,000 square feet total. You can see one lot is 12,000, one lot is 15,000. It is zoned C2 and it's right behind the Park Lane Shopping Center. So hopefully that offers a lot of opportunities because most of these properties are zoned R6. So the fact that it's zoned C2, I think is very promising for a lot of different options. The community organizations you'll want to speak to if you're interested in these properties are obviously Park Heights Renaissance, who's the CDC for Park Heights. I also recommend speaking to the Towanda Grantley neighborhood and the Park Lane neighborhood. And I'm happy to get you information as needed for that. I also have a map that I'll be bringing to the site inspection of any utilities or water that may be on the property. While I can't visually show that to you, we do have a kind of a plat map drawing of that information. What else did I want to tell you? That's about it for the Reisterstown Road properties. Again, we hope to see lots of unique ideas given that they're zoned C2. The next property is just up the street at the 3100 block of Wiley Avenue. And one property is technically, the address is Pimlico Road, but it's basically the majority of the even and odd side of the 3100 block of Wiley Avenue. It's a total of 10 vacant lots and it's zoned R6. It's roughly 1.5 acres. One side, parcel A, which I will call the north parcel, is about 32,000 square feet. And the south parcel is roughly 17,700 square feet. Again, they're both zoned R6. And one thing I did want to make sure that we mentioned is that there is a HUD restriction on the one single lot, the 4500 Pimlico Road property. It does have a HUD restriction. I do have information about it, which I'm happy to share via email. If you want to email me, I'll put my email in the chat when I'm done speaking again. It is at the top of the chat if you were here at the beginning of the meeting. I'm happy to give that information out, but in short, the restriction is in place until 2027, and it entails a few different things, most notably an affordability requirement for rental or home ownership. And so I'm happy to get that information to you in the form of a copy of the deed and what our legal team showed as what it all entailed. So I can get that information to you upon request. And the neighborhoods that you'd like to get in touch with if you're interested in these properties, just to get familiar with the neighborhood, would be the Park Lane Community Association, as well as Park Heights Renaissance. Finally, we have 5545 Kennison Avenue, also known as Grove Park Elementary School, located in the Grove Park neighborhood. And that is who I would reach out to if you're interested in this property. Again, I can get you contact information for all of these communities upon request in email. This property is 5.2 acres and the building itself is around 58,500 square feet. The building is in really good condition and would be great without much work to the property for the right applicant. As far as dates for our viewings of the properties, on November 3rd, Wednesday, November 3rd at 1 o'clock, we're going to be doing a site visit for Both the Reisterstown bundle and the 3100 block of Wiley Avenue, they're just up the road from each other. So my table will be at the Reisterstown Road properties, but you can walk up very easily to the 3100 block properties as well. But we will be located at 4419 Reisterstown Road from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock on November 3rd. And for the Grove Park Elementary School site visit, that's going to be on Tuesday, November 2nd at 10 o'clock, and we'll be there until noon for you to visit. So we will have that building open for 2 hours. You can come any time within that time period. So we look forward to seeing you. I'll be there. I believe community representatives will be at both site visits, as well as a representative from planning if you have any questions for them. So we look forward to seeing you there, and I will pass it on to, unfortunately, I don't know who's next. Maybe Howard. Let's take a stab at the dark. I was right. Great.
Yes, thanks, Kelly. Good afternoon, everyone. Howard Tutman, Neighborhood Development Officer for West Baltimore. Again, thanks for joining us this evening. We have 3 strong development opportunities in West Baltimore. Leading off is the North Mount Street Bundle, which is located at 517 through 541 North Mount Street. This development opportunity offers approximately 18,700 square feet of mayor and city council owned vacant land, encompassing 13 vacant lots. The location is in historic Harlem Park, and Harlem Park is located south of Sandtown Winchester, north of Franklin Square. The site is minutes from Route 40 and is also minutes from the Mark Penn Line train station. There is current development in Harlem Park in the 15 and 1600 blocks of Edmondson Avenue, and also the 500 block of North Gilmore Street. Please keep in mind that the Harlem Park Neighborhood Council is currently in the process of revising their master plan, and they would be the recognized neighborhood. The zoning is R8, and with R8 zoning, some permitted uses would be most residential uses, an educational facility, a park or a playground. Conditional uses would be a community center, urban agriculture, and adult daycare or child daycare. And not allowed would be a healthcare clinic, pawn shop, or a big box establishment. Again, the site visit for the lots would be Friday, November 5th at 9 a.m. Again, Friday, November 5th at 9 a.m. And my email address, howard.tutman@baltimorecity.gov, is at the top of the chat, Moving right along to 800 Poplar Grove Street. This development site is located in the Franklin Road neighborhood and is the former Alexander Hamilton Elementary School. The building was constructed in 1982 and sits on nearly 4 acres with a building area of 53,400 square feet approximately. The building has 3 stories. It includes 29 parking spaces, playground space, classrooms, cafeteria, a kitchen, a stage, a loading dock, an elevator, and a hard surface area. The Franklin Town Road community is located just south of the Winchester neighborhood, north of Fayette Street Outreach neighborhood, and west of the Mosier neighborhood. This property is close to Route 40 and Leakin Park in West Baltimore, and minutes from the Mark Penn Line train station. You can view the facility assessment report on our website at dhcd.baltimorecity.gov. And again, this is zoned R8. Next slide, please. Lastly, for the west, we have 1200 North Fremont. Again, this opportunity is located in the Sandtown Winchester neighborhood and is the former Pender Hughes Elementary School. and most recently used as an emergency homeless shelter. Built in 1973, the two-level building has an estimated 37,375 square feet and sits on 3.6 acres. The site is located next to the Baltimore Nehemiah Project, which is a 300+ community of affordable homeownership townhomes. The site is also a stone's throw from the Upton Metro Station and the Pennsylvania Avenue Market. Also in 2019, the state of Maryland designated Pennsylvania Avenue corridor as the first and only Black Arts District in the state of Maryland. And the Sandtown Winchester neighborhood is located in the old historic West Baltimore historic district. Currently, the Sandtown Winchester neighborhood is revising their master plan in conjunction with Harlem Park with the goal of updating and strengthening occupancy through blight elimination to transform the neighborhood. The site visit for 1200 North Fremont is Tuesday, November 2nd at 9 a.m. Tuesday, November 2nd at 9 a.m. And Nikki, if you can close us out, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Howard. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikki Cooper Moore, and I am the Neighborhood Development Officer for East Baltimore. And I only have one property. It's 1630 North Patterson Park Avenue. Current zoning is OR1, which is for office residential. The lot size is 1.089 acres. It's in the neighborhood of Broadway East. My site inspection is actually going to be tomorrow. So if you guys can make it out, I will be there. We have the property open from 1 to 2:30. The community will stop by, the community president. So if you have any questions, please come out tomorrow. It should be good. In addition to this building, this building sits adjacent to the Humanum building. Some people may be familiar with them at 1701 North Gay. Also sitting right across from the building is the Oliver Senior Center. This building is designated historic and also qualifies for historic tax credits. It was a former manufacturing building. Humanum was using it at one point for storage. There's also a vacant lot that is in the rear of the building that you'll be able to see as well when you come out. Broadway East has a very active community association. There's a lot going on along North Gay, and if you ride up and down North Gay Street corridor, you can actually see some development projects that are going on. So definitely, if you can, please come out tomorrow if you can make the open inspection. And I will include in the chat the neighborhood association information in case you have any questions. I've also included my email address. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, and for the next slide.
All right. Thank you all so much. It was great information. This is actually the list of all of the site inspections, which is also included on our website. A note for the site inspections for the buildings. Unfortunately, we may be unable to, and more than likely unable to, open them a second time. So the team will, to the best of their ability, videotape as much as they can of the interior of the property so that you can get an opportunity to see it virtually. But if you are interested and unable to make one of the days, I would absolutely encourage you to please designate someone on your team to be able to walk through and do that video, or to be able to assess the property and bring back some information for you, as we may not be able to open the sites a second time. The timeline for the 2021 RFP is here for us. Our hope is to have the award announcement April 2022. We launched this RFP on October the 18th. Tonight is our pre-proposal conference, which we are really glad to have you with us. Our site inspections will run October 29th through November the 5th. And applications, online applications are due on December 17th. The review process will begin in January 2022, with the first meeting being the minimum threshold. Are these applicants meeting this particular, based on the criteria I covered earlier, the threshold? February, we have scheduled community presentations where developers that have met the threshold will present to the community. And there will be a community survey, feedback, and comment opportunity for communities to tell us their thoughts and questions for development, for the developers. March 2022, we will invite those developers in to meet the review panel for an interview and begin the scoring process to make the recommendation to our acting deputy commissioner, Kate Edwards, and our acting commissioner, Alice Kennedy. We wanted to include some of the questions just to get us started this evening. Decisions are, all applications are due in by December 17th. Awards, are the awards based on best and final? The initial offer is taken into consideration. However, once completed, the awardee will be invited to come back and meet with DHCD to negotiate based on the development project and the amount of the appraised amount for the property. Each property will be appraised. That appraisal will be available probably in, I would say, mid-February, so we can share that detail with any of the applicants that are interested. Well, we will be sharing it with the applicants. Will we be notified if an award was made? Absolutely. All of the participants will receive letters and notification from our neighborhood development team. Does the city have a preference between home ownership and rental properties? So I don't want to read this verbatim. I also would ask you to consider the comments that were made by our neighborhood development team. Each of the neighborhoods are different and are looking for various proposed uses. So that will be a very key piece in the review process based on the neighborhood association's interests and their plans for the community. What are the MBE, WBE requirements? We work very closely with the city's MBE, WBE office, and there is detail in our online application to take you to the specifics of the requirements for that particular requirement. What kind of financial support information is the city looking for? We really are looking for applicants that are ready to get started, that at least have that pre-development amount of funding available and have a clear plan on how the development piece will be obtained and what that time frame looks like. Do we have a time limit that we need to abide by? Do we have a time limit that we need to abide by following settlement? And that will be part of an individual negotiation for each of the awards. 12 months from the date of settlement is our typical window of time included, but each project based on its size and its development plan could be different. So that is the conclusion of our presentation this evening. We have Ms. Robin Ayeli to help us this evening with any questions that we have from the chat. So I'm just gonna.
Right. Good evening. I only have one question well, only one question was listed or posted in the chat, and it was, can you provide the acceptable community association or organization for each property? And I believe, Walter, were you satisfied with the answers provided in these presentations? Because Walter Horton asked the question, but I believe it was prior to the presentations. And that was the only question that we had. And I'm not sure if he was satisfied with the answers or not. And I don't see any response. So I'm assuming he was satisfied with the answer. And there weren't any other questions at this time. Oh, I'm sorry, some are coming in. Will this presentation be posted on the website?
Today's recording will actually be included on the DHCD YouTube channel. And the questions from tonight's event will be posted on our website.
Okay. Is there a word or length limit to RFP responses?
Yes, there is. I can't tell you exactly what that is, but it's because this is handled online, there is a space limitation. There is an opportunity in some of the submissions, for example, your letter of intent, where it can be a PDF and you are allowed to attach various documents, but there is a word limit, yes.
Okay, thank you. With the RFP, is it for all of the properties or can proposals be given for each property?
The RFP is for, we are looking for developers to take individual properties. We would love someone to be able to submit a proposal to do them all, but they are very large sites. So we are hopeful to focus individually per site on a project or from a developer.
Okay. Let's see. On the school sites, can you provide the outstanding bond debt?
I'm actually gonna, I don't know, I think Kate may still be with us. She may have an answer for that one. If we have it, I don't believe that we, we definitely can share it, I believe, but I'm not certain.
I'm still here.
Oh, thank you, Kate.
I think that we could share it, but it will be dealt with separately. I mean, it doesn't have to be included in people's consideration. That's something for the city to take care of on its own.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. If you are part of one of the community associations, does that disqualify your outside development group? So if you're part of a neighborhood of a community association, does that disqualify your outside development group?
No. We welcome all submissions. If you are, just make sure I understand it. If you're one of the community associations, does this disqualify your outside?
So if they have an outside group, a separate development group, I guess,
No,
would that disqualify them?
No.
Okay. Someone asked, and Eric, you may be able to respond to this again. They asked what the neighborhood association is for 1101 Winston. Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, there's 3 in the area. Winston Govin's Neighborhood Association is the main one, but you also have Woodburn McCabe Neighborhood Association, which is Phyllis Gilmore. Those are the 2 primary associations in that area, and I can get that information. The other one is Wilson Park Northern Neighborhood Association. It's not as active as the other ones, but I can get all that information, and I'll have them at the site inspection.
Okay, thank you. Can we submit RFPs for multiple sites?
Absolutely.
I think that was the answer. Okay. Are any of the properties zoned for mental health clinics?
I'm gonna open that to the team. If any of you all want to respond.
I know that the 5837 Bel Air Road was a convalescent hospital. I'd have to do a little further research to determine whether or not mental hospital could be placed there. I would imagine it would be, but without giving you a definite.
Eric, what is the current zoning for that property?
For Winston Govan, I mean for
For the 5837?
Bel Air, I think.
It's Bel Air Road.
C2.
C2. So it would, I mean, it would be considered a medical use. So regardless of the type of medical use, it would be allowed in C2.
Yeah, for the R8 designation, I had mentioned that healthcare clinic is not permitted, is not permissible under R8 designation.
Thank you. How can we obtain access to floor plans and system plans? Like, for instance, HVAC, am I saying that right? HVAC, plumbing. Thank you for sharing. Oh, and that's it. So how can they obtain floor plans and system plans?
There are property assessment details for some of the school sites. It is dated information and we can share that information. If any of the neighborhood development team want to comment specifically on their sites, please do. So the detail that we have for the property assessments on the different school sites, we will be able to share, and those will be attached or updated to our website, on our website.
Thank you. Does the city provide any incentives on any of the sites?
At this time, we do not have incentives for this project. No.
Okay. Will the associations provide a Zoom call? They said they're based in Atlanta, but I believe this is being taped. I'm not sure what their question really is. Write a Zoom call. Michael Campbell? I'm not sure if you can speak to
it
this.
means if we could host a Zoom call during the site visit so that people could see it through Zoom at the site.
Possibly.
That's what he means.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be available. Does anyone want to confirm?
I'll just say that I don't have, I've had issues with reception at the Grove Park site. So while I'd be willing to try it, I can't guarantee that it would work as far as a Zoom call.
Anyone else?
No,
Okay.
as I mentioned earlier, we are going to, for the buildings, we will do our best to provide a video of a walkthrough of the site, but it will just be that portion. That's the best that we can offer at this point.
Thank you, Teresa. Can someone link me with the developer?
Unfortunately, we are not able to do that.
Are there any old drawings available for the properties? And I believe you mentioned this, Teresa. Can you repeat the answer?
I referenced the property assessment report that we have that has details about the interior of the properties. Also reaching out to the neighborhood development team specific to the property you're interested in. They may be able to help you with additional drawings or any plans that we can find on the site or the property.
Okay. Are any of the properties zoned for manufacturing? And I believe, Nikki, you have, your property might be, but do you want to speak to that?
Yes, it's office residential. I would recommend that you reach out to the planner for more details because it gets a little specific. So I can also include the planner's information if you have questions about that.
Okay. The second part.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for anybody that is concerned about how their plan would be seen by the planning department, you can always request a meeting with the planning department prior to submitting your proposal, just to run your ideas by them, like building location, building size. If you're interested in doing that, I would highly recommend that. If you have any questions, they're definitely available to get that information to you.
Right. I believe Eric Tissot handles the pre-development meetings there. I guess we will put them in touch with Eric, right?
Or the plan, I would touch
Or
base.
the plan, start with the planner too? Okay. Also use transitional emergency housing. Are any of these properties zoned for any of that? I know these questions are a little specific, but again, it may be that you need to talk with planning and zoning.
I would, Robin,
Yeah.
I would suggest, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kate.
I would just recommend what Robin said, that they would talk with the planning department and zoning
Right.
based on
Mhm.
exactly what they were planning to do. And then they would be able to look at the particular properties and let you know what is allowed.
Okay. So I only have a few more oh, well, I thought there were a few. Let me keep going. I have a detailed business plan, but I need assistance from a developer to move forward.
Yeah, I think this
Um,
person is just looking for others in the meeting that
Yeah,
might be interested in working with them. So
to network, yeah.
yeah.
Someone asked, can you request a second site visit? And I thought Teresa said there will be only one. Can you confirm that, please?
That is
Correct.
correct. There will just be
Okay.
one site inspection.
Our RFP requires a zoning change. How will that impact the assessment? So I'm assuming how would that impact our decision?
Right. I mean, go ahead.
No, go
Teresa.
ahead.
Okay. That would be taken into consideration. We will have a member of the planning department will be on the review team and be looking at that will feed into the feasibility of the project, whether or not it's likely that that zoning change will be possible. So it will be taken into consideration, but it's not absolute that wouldn't be a possibility.
Thank you, Kate. At this time, that concludes the questions portion. There are no more questions.
Okay,
Wait a
well,
minute, there's one more. It just popped up. To meet and talk with local community groups about your plan, can that be done via Zoom? I would say yes, but if anyone else has any other comments, because I know it's been done. I've conducted meetings via Zoom with community members before in association. So if anyone else has any other comment.
Yeah, I mean, most of the groups we work with are able to do that, but it'll vary from community to community.
Yeah. Thank you.
all right. Thank you so much, Robin. And thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Please remember, if you have additional questions, we would love to include those in our posted questions online. The deadline to get the additional questions in is November 1st, which is Monday. And we hope to have those questions posted online no later than November 5th. So we really appreciate you all participating this evening, and we look forward to working with you all in the future.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good one.